Right, we are rolling.
Hello, Christopher, and welcome everybody to another episode of Mildly Informed with the man I've just greeted and me, Richie Firth. We are here to mildly inform you about our weeks. Why are you looking confused?
I quite liked that intro. It wasn't a normal intro from you, but I quite liked it. And so I was just trying to get my head around. I think I need to listen back to it to know, was I properly introduced or not?
And it's tricky, isn't it? Because you won't know until you listen back, and then it'll be too late.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about the intro was both enjoyable but didn't make sense.
And that is this podcast in a nutshell.
It's lovely to see you, Rich.
And it's good to see you too.
I do value our little records on a Friday morning over a cup of tea, where really I think we are kind of like the equivalent of Newsnight, but for people who desperately need anything but Newsnight.
Yes. Because we inform, we analyse, but it's potentially without the gravitas of Newsnight. But that's for other people to let us know.
No, we have the gravitas, but just gravitas centered around a different, like a different place. Yes. We have all the gravitas in the world when it comes to talking utter horseshit about something we ate in the last 7 days. No one does it better.
Good point. Although, knowing what the agenda is for today's episode, I don't see much horseshit.
Well, you don't know one of the things I'm going to be talking about.
That's a good point, yeah.
In fact, two of the things could cover that. Rich, let's not like tease. Let's get straight into it. Talk to me about your week.
Chris, I want to talk about tickets. What has happened to tickets? The game has gone regarding tickets. Let's just rewind, first of all, to our youth. Our teenage years, the 20s, peak event going. When you would go to sports events, you would go to gigs, and you would go with a ticket, and you would leave such event with a ticket. And you might then potentially put such ticket on a wall, pin it to a corkboard, keep it as something that is a souvenir of an event. Well, sadly, those days are gone. And I realised it this week. I'm looking back at events over the last 3 to 4 months of my life. I was fortunate enough to go and see Oasis at Wembley Stadium. This week, I've gone to Wembley Stadium once again to watch England versus Serbia, a World Cup qualifier. And then at the weekend, I'm taking my youngest son to go and watch Brazil versus Senegal at the Emirates Stadium.
Fantastic.
What a thing for a 7-year-old to be able to go and see the Samba football team in their iconic kit. But will he have a ticket to memorize that event? No, he will not. It's a real shame. When I think about the tickets of our youth, there may be the size, double the size of a credit card, probably with a ripped off stub that someone has kept, and also on there a little hologram of some sort as well for security purposes. They just don't exist. When I went to Wembley last night, and it was the same for Oasis, it was a piece of A4 paper that I had to print out at home with instructions of how to fold it up to then scan to go into the event. That's not something that you want to keep. A piece of office paper that you've printed out on your Hewlett-Packard at home. And then secondly, if you're not doing it that way, it's a ticket on your phone. It's smart ticketing. It's something that stays in your wallet. You just can't do it. The days of ticketing are over.
I think this is really sad. And this actually has real strong echoes for me of another point you made on the show a few months ago about the football program being on the way out as well. Like these physical reminders of these events that we go to, like being wiped out to what, I mean, like the program, there's a commercial thing to it, but like these physical souvenirs are really important, I think. And it is a tragedy that teenagers now will not get the opportunity. Like, oh my God, I think I had the ticket when I went to see Sparkle Horse at the Islington Garage in 1996. I had that for years and I cherished that. And But what? I mean, you can't even make an NFT of your digital tickets these days.
No. You could go even further. You could talk about tickets for plane journeys, maybe an
Yep.
iconic trip
Oh, the same.
on a
Yes.
holiday. Exactly, like
Yes.
you'd be able to see where your seat was, and now once again they're just tucked away in your wallet. I'm trying to work out who's killed all this. Is it Jobs? Is it Gates? I don't know. Where's the fun gone?
Is it Big Green?
Who's Big Green?
Like the Big Green movement, like trying to cut out paper use. Although I would argue that maybe the digital, digital use is not carbon free in itself. Maybe we're getting sidetracked by the green thing. But either way, like, yeah, I would like, maybe, would you pay a £1 surplus or even a £5 surplus for them to give you like an old school ticket stub as well when you bought a ticket?
Yes, that is a great idea. And they could use that £5 fee to plant a new tree in the Amazon basin.
Yeah, yeah. Now, hang on a second. I'm going to go and get something, and it is of value to this conversation. Just wait there.
It's not another Ricardo order, is it?
Not this one.
Oh, well, I don't know what this is going to be, listener. This is very exciting.
There are-
Those of you watching our YouTube feed, Chris is back. What's he bought?
There are 2 tickets I've had for events in the last year or 2. And both are physical tickets. And I have them both here.
Okay.
I have them both here.
And you've kept them. There's the thing.
I've kept them. And looking at what they are each for makes you totally understand why they are still like this, yeah? This first one, big one, yeah? The Lord Chamberlain is commanded by His Majesty to invite Mr. Chris Skinner to a garden party at Buckingham Palace.
Oh, wow.
The Royals invited me, yeah? So
wow.
There's one. Of course they are not keeping up with trends. There's no digital ticket for that. That is a signed piece of paper. The other one, so that was the head of state. An evening with Barack Obama at the O2.
Brilliant. Wow.
Heads of state still give you tickets. Everyone else have gone digital. Old school is like powerful, basically.
I'm going to review the tickets of 2025 and give them 2 stars.
Oh.
Yes, they get you in. And yes, it's harder to tout. And yes, you can still keep them in a wallet if you want. But if they're in a wallet on your phone, did the gig ever happen? 2-star review for ticketing in 2025.
Well, I'm really sad to hear that, but I get it. I respect that. And I just think of all those sixth formers now with their ring binders in those opening pages where there used to be nightclub flyers, gig tickets. They're all gone.
They're all gone. Chris, lift our mood because we're too glum in the first 10 minutes of this episode. What's been going on for you this week you'd like to enlighten us?
We might disagree on this, Rich. And, you talk about some of your recent experiences. It's international break. I cannot stand the international break. Now, for international listeners and viewers, for those who do not follow association football, here's what happens. A football season starts in August. And you play for about 2 weeks, and you go, oh, great, football season's back. And then, bang, international break. And, And then you get about another 3 or 4 weeks of football. Bang, completely shuts down again for another international break. Then you get about another 3 or 4 weeks of football. Bang, same thing happens again. So where we're at now. It is a constant, tedious interruption in the football season. Now, here's a couple of things. I couldn't give a shit about the England football team. I couldn't give a shit about the Ireland football team. I don't care for them. I support Tottenham Hotspur and have a secondary bite for Leyton Orient. International football is of a lower standard. It's really turgid, bad stuff. In fact, you see excellent footballers at their worst when they play international football, particularly in these international breaks. So the football is bad. The football that you enjoy is broken up and is stopped from playing. Your Saturdays and your Sundays these days become such a vacuum. There's literally nothing on. It's just like, it's so crap. Like I go into this weekend with a real existential dread that it's going to be like 3 o'clock or 5:30 and I'm going to be like, oh, there's nothing here. Or maybe I can see if, like, some no one like Morgan Gibbs White played for England, or, did Troy Parrott bag another brace for Ireland? It's just so miserable and crap. And no one cares about international football until it gets to every 2 years when there's a major football tournament and maybe Harry Kane will do something good for England. It's just rubbish. It's rubbish. I would ban international football breaks. Everyone qualifies for World Cup and Euros anyway now. So basically, there's like 162 teams now qualify for the World Cup. Almost more teams than there are in Europe qualify for the European Championships, it feels now. So just basically bin it all off. If you need to let the smaller teams play out for a couple of qualifying games, sure. Faroe Islands versus Northern Ireland or something like that. Gibraltar versus whoever. Let them play each other. And then just bin the rest of it off. I do not want to see Mbappe play at his worst whilst Kolo Muani picks up an injury. And generally, I'm like, well, I really would have rather having watched Leyton Orient. And here's the thing. English football has now got so good that it's not just Premier League games that get cancelled. It's not just Championship games that get cancelled. League One games, the third tier, now get cancelled because they have a load of international players and international under-21 players. And the whole thing gets sacked off. It's a total waste of time. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I tell you how you can improve my weekend here this weekend, yeah? Bring everyone back from international duty and play out a bunch of normal fixtures, save on the fixture congestion, just have done with it. And I haven't even started on the flag shaggers. Like it's just, I'm sorry. I can tell I'm not articulating myself particularly clearly here because I'm just so wound up by it all. It's horrible.
I'd say you've articulated your thoughts pretty clearly. I don't think anyone's in any doubt as to how you feel about the break of the league season for international matches. And I've got a lot of sympathy with you. And agree with a lot of what you've said. This weekend, I received, this week I received a WhatsApp from my wife. She does talk to me at other times, but she sent a WhatsApp saying, can we go to IKEA on Sunday? And I was able to reply immediately, yes, because I knew there was no football going on, and my heart sunk. Knowing that there was no excuse as to why I couldn't go to IKEA. So
there's a guaranteed argument straight away.
Yeah. So that's happening on Sunday rather than football. Now, interestingly, I went to England versus Serbia at Wembley last night. I'm a massive Arsenal fan. I'm missing the league season much like you are as well. I had a great night last night. But it was more being with my mates than actually watching the England football team, and we're actually a group of coaches for the youth football team that we look after. And in the brief time that we were actually talking about the game, one of them actually said, it's really weird, isn't it? Because they keep on saying about someone when they're called up to the England team, or can he make the step up to this level? Can he make the step up to this level? And what we were watching in front of us is a step down from what they're doing for the Premier League. There was a young lad from Manchester City last night, Nico O'Reilly, making his England debut. It was a slower game with less intensity and less on it than what Pep Guardiola and the Manchester City fans will have expected of him for his 30-odd league games that he's played. It's a step down. It is so slow. Wembley isn't full. It's a nightmare to get to. It's a nightmare to get home from. Because it's a nightmare to get home from, and because it's a November evening, 75 minutes on the clock, and you start thinking, I'm going to make an exit here because I want to be able to get on the tube. I don't want to have to queue and all that kind of stuff. I've got to get home. I've got to go to work the next morning. It's unsatisfactory. It's unsatisfactory.
I'll tell you how bad it is. Even last season, when Tottenham were finished 17th in the league, I got pissed off that we weren't going to be losing, 2-1 to someone shit because England were on. I would still have rather watch a terrible Tottenham get beat than have Ireland get turned over by someone, England get turned over by someone. There might be something vaguely interesting, like maybe Greece would upset Portugal in some other game that I wasn't watching, but I'd read about online and go, oh, that's fun.
But there's the irony. Last night, the other team that you do look out for, Ireland, they had a fantastic surprise result against Portugal, but you still can't get excited about that. I think
no, it's funny though. It is funny. I just want to take that moment to note that Cristiano Ronaldo, still the biggest baby in football,
yes,
had a proper public temper tantrum. I mean, respect to the guy, a man who's now in his 40s but acts like he's 6. I mean, I think it takes a special kind of human to be like that. I know we're not analysing sport in this show, but no. I did. Yeah, that's one thing I did enjoy. He could have just done that playing for Riyadh or whoever it is he plays for these days.
Al Nassr. I hate myself that I even know that. I think we have to be disciplined here because we could talk about this for a long time. It's not a sports podcast. Review international breaks, give it a star rating, and there's so much else that we need to talk about.
Barely 1 star. And can I also just pick up on the fact that you said Al Nassr? Yes, you are right. Where are Al Nassr based?
Riyadh.
Thank you. 1 star.
We'll be back. Chris, it's time for some optimism.
Yeah. Look, I think we've got through some difficult material there now. We can move on, and you can talk to me about something far lighter.
I have had a great idea.
Ooh.
It is a great idea, but I will acknowledge it is not in any way fully formed. I've spotted an opportunity, and hopefully the two of us together can spend a few minutes to work something out. What I've spotted is an untapped resource. An untapped resource that is plentiful across the world and we're not using. And I think we'll all agree that this planet that we live on and we're not taking great care of, we are low on resources. So if we can do something with what I've spotted, this is a great thing for the future of humankind.
I mean, you're teasing me up. You're setting me up here for something really special. I'm happy to workshop this. Come on, tell us.
Leaves.
Every
single year, leaves fall. They're plentiful and they just get in the way and we're doing nothing with them. Why have, in 2025, we have not got a solution or a use for leaves that have fallen from trees? If we could realise that we could turn them into something useful or use them for power, that would be amazing. Think about all the leaves that fall off trees in the likes of New England. You see these beautiful pictures of the fall over in the States. All of the leaves that fall here, all of the leaves that fall across Europe, the leaves that fall once a year and just cause detritus on the roads and people having to rake them off their lawns. And we do nothing with them whatsoever. It would be great if we could build a car that ran on leaves.
I would be all up for driving a Nissan Leaf, as I believe they would be. There is a car called a Nissan Leaf. I've got some car knowledge. Yeah, that's a car, isn't it?
That is a car. First of all, do you not agree that leaves are an amazing untapped resource? Isn't it astonishing we do nothing with them?
I half agree with you.
You half agree with me.
I agree that they are a fantastic resource. But weirdly enough, I actually know a little bit about this as a subject.
Really?
And can share a little bit with you. There are 2 things here. Okay, 1, just because I know these 2 things doesn't mean your point is not valid and more could not be done. So I don't want you to feel invalidated here.
No, I don't. I want to be educated because if there's stuff that I don't know, that is obviously ignorance, and that's why you're here.
So 2 things. 1, a lot of people do gather leaves and create leaf mulch. Gardeners particularly do it on in public, not necessarily public parks, but definitely private parks. Certain garden owners will do it. You have to bag them up and let them rot down for 12 months before you can reuse them as compost. So that you can't just put them to use straight away. but leaves are often composted and turned back into the ground. So that is a thing that happens.
Okay. That's not
But
going to power a car.
Not going to power a car. Not yet. Secondly, and here is one that I think needs work and where your enthusiasm could change the world here. There is a reason why London leaves aren't generally put to good use.
Oh, really?
And they're not recycled. Because largely they fall on the streets. And I understand, because they are considered tainted or dirty, you know, there is lead, petrol, other like heavy metals, grime that coats our streets in the autumn that comes from cars and other vehicles. They are considered too toxic to be composted and recycled and turned back in the ground, those that fall on London streets. So they all go to waste. That's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
So they are used, but there is a reason why they are not used for the reasons that you would like. I think something's got to be done about that.
Definitely. And if they're saying that city leaves are tainted with the city, that obviously says that there's stuff in those leaves that could be re-enhanced, reused, used as a power. There's got to be something there. There's got to be something there.
Yeah.
This is one of those rare opportunities on this podcast where we're not going to offer a solution straight away. I'm happy to gift to cleverer people than me the observation and the opportunity that is fallen leaves for development. But I'm glad that you agree that something should be done.
I just can't imagine, though, on that second point of it, I can't imagine that even slightly tainted leaves would be a more toxic fuel than petrol, for example. I still don't believe. Surely there is a way to put that carbon to use. It might not be as clean as clean wind energy, but it's got to have some kind of less polluting value.
And the other point about this is nature's kind of giving us a hint. It's saying, hey, I don't want these anymore. You guys do something with it. Rather than us having to drill or frack down into the earth to take stuff out of it aggressively, nature's saying, come on then, I'll give you this once a year. And we're doing nothing with it.
Yeah. I think we should form Leaf Incorporated as our new startup business. We'll meet every Sunday evening over a plate of raspberries.
Lovely. 5:30.
5:30. That will be when the meeting is called, and anyone who wants to join us to talk about how we take on Big Leaf can join us.
At the end of this episode, Chris will give out his address, so you know where to meet. 5:30 for Leaf Chat.
must bring your own homegrown raspberries.
Chris is someone there's a group of people at the door. They want to talk about leaves.
Sorry, Laura. Let them in. Yes, I know we're eating dinner. Yes, I know Richie's here.
2.5 stars for leaves. That is actually, you've told me before I can't do half stars, can I?
Correct.
3 stars. I'm going to be optimistic because there's an opportunity there. Leaves, untapped resource.
Rich.
Christopher.
Let's have a food chat. I want to talk to you about patouche.
Patouche? That sounds like a parlour game that is played at Christmas rather than food.
It sounds like either a parlour game or slang for someone's private parts, but I don't know what private parts.
So it's not food then? Well, it might be. Depends what you do with it.
Patouche is the name of a cafe/takeaway on Leather Lane in London that I have started frequenting. It's my new favourite place to get lunch, and I think it warrants a review. Let me tell you, Leather Lane, very popular food market in the middle of the city, somewhere Clerkenwell Way in London. And you walk into Patouche and there's quite a big queue, but it goes down very quickly. There are seats at the back should you want to sit in, but most people get takeaway. And you get 4 size tubs, the £4 tub, the £4.50 size tub, the £5.50 or the £6.50. The £6.50 size is massive. You know I'm a hungry boy, yeah? I'm a hungry.
Yes.
I can't finish the £6.50 size.
I don't want to be impatient.
Mm?
I'm hearing a lot about tub size.
Yeah.
I feel like at the moment I don't know what's going in those tubs. And for me, as a hungry young man, that
Yeah.
is pertinent. What is going in these tubs? What are they
Richie.
all queuing up for?
Richie, what isn't going in those tubs is the more pertinent question. Once you get to the end of the queue, you get firstly to the salad and beans section. And they have 20 different types of salad, bean dishes, pulses, and you can pick and choose to your heart's content. Oh, I fancy just playing it quite safe with some peas or some spicy chickpeas or some kind of beetroot salad or some kind of other thing. I haven't got a clue what that is, but it looks really tasty. In that goes. You work your way round. You then get to a more carbier section.
That's
There
me.
are different types
That's my
of
section.
There you go. I've already almost filled up on the first bit. There are chips. There are other types of potato. There are 3 or 4 different types of rice, of pasta. There is lasagna, veggie lasagna, samosas, both meat and veggie. There is also a sauce. There are sauces running right across the back as well to pour your own sauces of all kinds of variety, from creamy to super hot. Then you get to the meat section. There are whole pieces of chicken on the bone. There are different types of pieces of chicken off the bone, other meats, but I don't really pay much attention to them. And you line them all up and you fill your lunch of your choice, of course, which is different every single day. You pay and you leave. I go for the £5.50 bowl, Rich. I cannot tell you how satisfying this lunch is. It is the highlight. I mean, £5.50 in central London is almost half price. It's almost half price how expensive lunch has got in central London these days. And it is absolutely incredible. And I'm you know the curious ways I sometimes eat. I'm basically beans and pulses half, and then the other half is basically all chicken. And if I'm feeling a tiny bit naughty, I'll throw a veggie samosa on the top. And I just cannot tell you how much I love it. And I was like, why does nobody know about this? Why does nobody know about this? And I was like, well, maybe someone does know about this, because towards the end of the summer, early autumn, the queue doubled in size. I was like, oh, what's going on here? It turns out this has become such a local icon that the press has started to pick it up. There was a review for it in the Mirror. Various influencers, Instagram people have started writing about it, which I have mixed emotions about, because I don't want people to know about this. The queue will get even longer and the prices could go up. There was a bar I used to love. It was London's best free late bar. As soon as it got that review, it started charging to let people in. I'm worried, but what a place Patouche is.
Why then, if this is the case, are you talking about it on this podcast?
Because I'm here to mildly inform people. And did I say it's on Leather Lane? What I meant was it's on Exmouth Market.
That's it. Describe to me the size of the £5.50 bowl, because everything else that you told me about it, it sounds incredible, and I would potentially visit it myself.
You get
so
Chinese,
how much am I getting?
You get a Chinese or Indian takeaway, yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, you're like in a sort of Tupper, like the sort of plastic microwavable box.
Yeah.
Would be like the one portion of, say, your chicken dish or your lamb dish, yeah. That is the size of the £4 tub, the smallest one. So the £5.50 is basically double the size of a main course in a takeaway. So imagine, essentially, if you filled it with, say, chicken chow mein, it would be a double chicken chow mein.
Wow. Sounds like the size of a shoebox, maybe.
I mean, maybe we get different takeaway sizes here. It's not the size of a shoe. Shoes, like...
Yeah, no, but
shoes.
you're saying, yes, shoes. You're saying double chow mein.
Would you eat a shoebox of chow mein?
Yeah.
A shoebox?
Yeah.
That's like, that would hold like 3 kilograms of food.
Well, it depends what the food is, doesn't it?
Chow mein.
Can I think by accident, and this always happens with us, we've just come up with an incredible business proposition. And that is shoe boxes of food, because that is not a unit of food that has been sold before. And everyone knows what a shoebox looks like.
Yep.
That's great.
No one should be eating shoebox portions of food, Rich. That's not good.
Yeah, but you buy it as a family. If you bought like a shoebox of lasagna, you know what you're getting.
I reckon a shoebox of lasagna would feed 6, and it would also be about 8 layers high.
Yeah, it would do more than 6, to be honest.
Yeah, so that's why a £5.50 serving is not a shoebox.
Patouche sounds amazing.
So I want to give Patouche, this absolutely fantastic place to get lunch in central London, 1 star. Do not go there.
Sounds terrible.
Should we take a quick break?
Let's do that. Chris, looking forward to the Patreon episode today. You can find us on Patreon, mildly informed pod at patreon.com. However, before that, there is one more thing that I would like to talk about before we join our Patriots.
Well, Rich, the floor is yours. Why wait?
Broken Britain.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought we'd come round a corner here.
No, we haven't.
I thought we'd started in a funky place and got better.
This week, I have seen something that honestly I think is appalling.
Oh, no.
Youths have started to buy advent calendars, but they're not waiting until Christmas. 3 times this week, I have seen youths, and when I talk about youths, let's talk specifically, we're talking around about 8:35 in the morning as they walk to school, and they are walking along with advent calendars. And what they are doing is they've been in the supermarket on their way to school. They have bought an advent calendar and they are ripping that advent calendar open like a chimpanzee in a zoo. And they are just, in a depravity way, they are just ripping it apart and eating chocolate. That is broken Britain. That is broken Britain. Advent calendars are a way to count down in a suspenseful and disciplined way until one of the most joyous days of the year. And a little treat in moderation of a piece of chocolate. To defecate an advent calendar in the space of 10 minutes as you walk to school, having just disposed money that your parents have probably given you to buy a nice sandwich for lunch. I cannot describe it any other way as to how this country is going to the dogs.
I cannot disagree more, Rich. I think that's so incredibly funny, and fair play to the use of today. Who says you have to open it on the 1st of December? It's chocolate. It's chocolate. And frankly, I think I think enjoy it when you like. I think that's very, very funny. I tell you why. When it comes to Easter eggs, Easter chocolate, I'm eating them all through Lent. I'm not waiting until like Easter Sunday to tuck into my Easter chocolate. As soon as they come in the shops in the new year, I'm chowing back Easter eggs. So by an extension of that, you know what? You have just given me a great idea. I'm going to go to the supermarket at lunchtime today and buy an advent calendar and eat it tonight. I'm going to see if you can do all 24 in a day. Is that a lot? I don't know.
It's probably a shoebox worth of chocolate.
What a great idea.
It's a horrific idea. I'm going to go route 1 straight back at you. If you saw your eldest daughter walking to school, destroying a dairy milk advent calendar, just talking to her mates and just opening doors, not even looking for door number 1, just opening doors and eating chocolate, what would you say?
Okay. I think there's a couple of things here. There's the general principle of being prepared to eat an advent calendar, not in order, not from the 1st through to the 24th of December. And then there is, as a parent, your role in giving them a healthy, nourishing start to the day. On the latter point, sure, like I take the point. Advent calendar for breakfast as a parent would concern me. I concede that point. However,
there are kids doing 3 a week at the moment.
It's not like vaping, Rich. It's fine. It's fine. If Mabel came home this evening and said, look, I know you, my parents, I'm assuming you've got me an advent calendar, which I know I'll get on the 1st of December. But I just got given this one today. Can I have a couple of the chocolates, share a few with my sister this evening? I'd be like, sure, go for it. Maybe give me one too.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, because that's showing restraint by Mabel.
Britain.
But popping into Asda and buying one at 8:15 and having chowed it down by 8:35 before even registration, that is screwed.
So that's your your problem is not the eating them out of sequence in November. Your problem is the time of day. Is that what you're telling me?
I think my problem, Chris. No. My problem is society. My problem is society. Yeah. Honestly, we're broken. We're broken.
Yeah.
Britain in 2025. That's what I'm reviewing. Britain in 2025. 1 star.
Oh God. These children making their independent decisions about when they're going to eat chocolate.
Mildly important. I'm so raged, I can't even give out our email address. mildlyinformedpod@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts on the youth of today eating advent calendars out of order before December at 8:15 in the morning. You can leave your comments on our YouTube channel as you watch this, or you can find us on our socials at Richie Firth or at Producer Chris. I'm so sorry to end the regulation version of this podcast on such an aggressive note, but that's just how it's going to happen. We're going to go over to our Patreons right now and no doubt end in a far more palatable and cheery mood. But for now, from me, Richie Firth, and him, the man I introduced at the beginning of the podcast, it's goodbye and off to Patreon.